Welcome back to the Deep Dive. This is where we tackle those tough decisions in tech and creative gear, break down the best info we can find, and, well, basically give you the shortcut. And today, we are really getting into one that seems to be driving a lot of aspiring creators a bit mad.
Yeah, I've heard this one a lot. It's the Canon EOS R10 versus the Canon EOS R50.
Exactly, that entry-level mirrorless battleground. You're ready for your first serious camera, interchangeable lenses, all that good stuff.
And Canon puts two cameras on the shelf that look, pretty similar. It feels like a guessing game for the buyer.
Right. So we've got the specs, we've looked at the real-world comparisons, and our mission today is pretty simple. Cut through all that marketing stuff and show you exactly what sets these two apart.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's get this out right away, because I think the biggest surprise, the thing you, the listener, really need to grasp first is how much they actually share.
Oh, absolutely. This is key. You'd think different models, different, engines under the hood, but no.
Not the case here.
Not at all. When you talk about the absolute core stuff, image quality, the colors you get, dynamic range, just making beautiful photos, it's basically a tie.
A complete wash.
Yep. Both the R10 and R50, they're built on Canon's, frankly, revolutionary RF mount system now. And crucially, they use the exact same 24.2 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor.
Identical sensor.
Identical. And they're both driven by the same brain, too, that really powerful DIGOX image processor.
That is huge, because it means if you're sitting there agonizing, which one takes a better picture? You can just stop.
Take it right off the table. Image quality itself, same.
Yeah.
The files they produce, the system responsiveness that's locked in, and that DIGICX processor, it's really important for both cameras.
Right, it handles so much.
It does. It's not just about speed, though that's part of it. It's running the autofocus, doing the subject tracking, processing those files, like C-RAW even.
Okay, C-RAW. Let's pause there for a second. Shared feature, but maybe worth explaining why that matters to someone buying their first serious camera.
Sure. C-RAW, or Compact RAW, it's Canon's own thing. Basically, it gives you almost all the editing power and flexibility you get from a full-fat RAW file, which is what pros need, for tweaking exposure, colors, everything later.
But without the enormous file size.
Exactly. Much smaller files, so less space on your memory card, faster to transfer to your computer. It's a really practical benefit for everyday shooting.
Got it. So if the image quality is identical, and they share core tech like the processor and C-RAW, then our whole mission shifts, right?
Completely. The choice isn't about the picture quality itself. It has to be about the other stuff, specific performance features, how they handle the design choices.
And that's where they start to split. Let's talk speed first, continuous shooting, because this is where the R10 really stakes its claim.
This is the R10's headline act, you could say, its main differentiator. If you shoot fast action sports, wildlife, kids running around, cars, maybe.
Your dog catching a Frisbee.
Yeah, anything moving quickly. The R10 is built for that.
Yeah.
Our sources consistently show it hits up to 15 frames per second, and crucially, that's using the mechanical shutter.
Okay, mechanical shutter. Why is that specific detail important?
Reliability and image quality, mostly. Mechanical shutters are just better at freezing fast action without weird distortions. That 15 FOPBIOS is solid, dependable speed for capturing that one perfect moment in a burst.
It's the safety net, kind of, for the action photographer. But here's the twist, the curveball maybe. You flip over to video.
And the R50 suddenly jumps ahead.
Right. Which feels counterintuitive, because the R10 is often a little bit more expensive. You'd almost expect it to have the better video.
Well, this seems very intentional by Canon. They've clearly aimed the R50 squarely at the hybrid creator, the vlogger, the social media person.
So what makes his video superior?
Okay, couple of key things. First, it offers 6K oversampled 4K video. And it's uncropped 4K up to 30 frames per second.
All right, break down 6K oversampled 4K for us. Why should someone care?
It means better quality, basically. Sharper footage. The camera's actually capturing detail at a 6K resolution. Way more information than it needs for 4K. And then it intelligently scales that down to the final 4K output.
So the end result is?
Cleaner details, less weird digital artifacts like moire patterns, and honestly, noticeably better performance when the light isn't great. Think shooting indoors, using window light.
Which vloggers do all the time.
All the time. So that oversampled 4K is a really big practical advantage for that kind of user. It just looks more professional straight out of camera.
Makes sense. And then there's the slow motion aspect. People love that cinematic look.
The R50 delivers there too. It can shoot full HD, so 1080p at up to 120 frames per second.
Which is great for smooth, dramatic slow-mo.
Perfect for it. It really adds production value to almost any kind of video project.
Plus, the R50 has that very specific mode, the one aimed directly at creators doing demos or reviews. The R10 doesn't have this, right?
Correct. It's called Movie for Close-Up Demo Mode. Sounds a bit clunky, but it's actually really clever.
What does it do?
If you're, say, reviewing a product or doing a makeup tutorial or just showing anything small close to the camera, this mode automatically detects whatever is closest and snaps focus right to it.
Even if you're holding it up near your face?
Yep. It prioritizes the object you're showing off. It stops the camera from getting confused and focusing back on your face when you want it to focus on the product. For anyone doing unboxings or tutorials, that could honestly be the deciding feature.
Takes the focus hassle out of those shots.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's circle back to speed. We said the R10 is the speed king at 15 PS mechanical, but the R50 specs also say 15 PS somewhere.
Yes, the speed elephant in the room. There's a catch.
Knew it. What's the catch?
The R50 can hit 15 frames per second, but only if you switch it to the electronic shutter.
And the downside of the electronic shutter for fast action is?
Potential distortion. It's called rolling shutter. Because the sensor reads the image line by line, really fast-moving subjects, or even just panning the camera quickly, can look weird.
The jello effect, people call it sometimes.
Exactly. Vertical lines might look slanted or wobbly. Think a golf club swinging, or the spokes on a fast bike wheel. It can look bent.
Not ideal if you're trying to capture perfect action shots.
Not at all. Plus, electronic shutters can sometimes create banding effects under certain artificial lights, like flickering LEDs or fluorescent tubes. You get these horizontal lines across your image.
Mirror.
The R10, using its mechanical shutter for that 15 ps burst, completely avoids both rolling shutter and banding. It's just the more robust, reliable tool if your main goal is nailing those action photos.
Okay, so that's a critical trade-off.
Yeah.
If you pick the R50 maybe to save a bit of cash, but you still want to dabble in action, you have to accept that your fastest burst mode comes with a risk of image distortion.
You got it. That's a core decision point for the listener right there.
Yeah.
And this kind of targeted difference, it carries over into the autofocus systems too.
Autofocus. Always crucial. Both use Canon's dual-pixel CMOS AF, which is generally excellent, right?
It is. It's fantastic tech on both. But again, the R50 has slightly, let's say, boosted specs tailored for that dynamic content creator.
Okay, what are the specifics? Numbers time.
Yeah. The R50 boasts 651 autofocus zones. And crucially, it gives you 100% by 100% AF coverage across the sensor area.
100% coverage. Meaning?
Meaning the camera can find and lock focus on a subject's eye, for example, no matter where it is in the frame. Right in the middle, tucked into a corner, way off to the side.
Okay, but hang on. The R10's focus tracking is still really good, isn't it? Is that extra coverage on the R50 really that noticeable day to day? Or is it just numbers on a page?
I think it makes a difference in specific dynamic situations. For a traditional photographer using the R10, maybe composing more carefully, its tracking is plenty good enough. But think about the vlogger again.
Right, often filming themselves.
Exactly. That 100% coverage means you could be sitting off-center, maybe holding the camera at arm's length in a tight space, or even moving around a lot in the frame.
And the camera is less likely to lose focus on your eye just because you move near the edge.
Precisely. It reduces those frustrating moments where the focus suddenly hunts or shifts to the background because you weren't perfectly centered. It's about reliable, autonomous focus when you might be both the subject and the camera operator.
That makes total sense. It's optimizing for the person who doesn't have someone else behind the camera.
And speaking of holding the camera, let's talk about actually using these things. The ergonomics, the viewing experience.
Yeah, how do they feel? The R50 seems to have an edge here for creators, too.
Definitely. It's got a really nice, sharp 2.36 million dot electronic viewfinder, the EVF. But the big deal is the screen. It has Canon's Clearview LCD2 vari-angle touchscreen.
Vari-angle, meaning it flips out and rotates all the way around.
All the way around. Absolutely essential for filming yourself or vlogging.
Yeah.
Also great for shooting from really high or low angles without having to contort yourself.
Non-negotiable for many creators.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Now, the R10 also has a vari-angle screen, to be fair. But the overall feel and maybe the interface emphasis on the R50 feels slightly more geared towards that self-shooting, video-centric user.
Okay, but both are pretty small and light, right? That's a plus for entry level.
Oh, yeah. Both are impressively compact and lightweight for what they offer. And both have built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, which is standard now, but still super useful for getting photos to your phone quickly.
Good. Let's touch on power quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Batteries. Anything notable there?
Yeah.
Our sources mentioned something about the R10 kit.
Yeah, a small but potentially useful detail. Both use the standard Canon LPE17 battery pack. But with the R10, Canon typically includes not just the external battery charger, the LCE17, but also the USB power adapter PDE. Meaning you've got the option for in-camera USB charging right out of the box. Using that adapter gives you flexibility charge via the wall or maybe from a USB power bank when you're out and about. The R50 might require you buy the USB adapter separately, depending on the kit.
Okay, a small convenience factor for the R10 buyer, potentially. Now, image stabilization. This always seems to confuse people because neither has in-body stabilization, right? They rely on the lens IS.
Correct. No IDIS in either camera body. You need lenses with optical image stabilization, the IS lenses, to get stabilization. But there is a difference in the digital stabilization options inside the cameras.
Ah, okay. How so? Again, leaning towards the R50.
Seems that way, yeah, tying back to its video focus. The R10 offers a standard sort of digital IS for video. The R50, however, gives you a suite of different electronic stabilization modes: evaluative, partial, spot, and center-weighted.
Whoa, okay. That sounds complicated. What's the practical benefit of having those different modes?
It gives the creator more control over how the camera tries to digitally compensate for shake, especially when shooting video handheld. Evaluative is the default, works generally. But spot stabilization, for instance, might try to focus the electronic stabilization just on a small area, like your face if you're doing a walk and talk. Center-weighted prioritizes stability in the middle of the frame.
So it's offering more tailored software tools to fight handheld video shake.
Basically, yes. More tools in the digital toolbox to help smooth things out if you don't have a gimbal or a stabilized lens, or even if you do and want extra smoothing. The R10 is a bit more reliant on its default digital setting or the lens IS alone.
Again, it feels like a deliberate nod to the R50 user being potentially more mobile, more run and gun with their video.
Exactly. It all starts to paint a very clear picture of two distinct user profiles, which brings us towards the verdict, I suppose.
Let's tie it together. We should probably bring price back into it briefly.
Right. Generally speaking, the R10 usually comes in at a slightly higher price point.
And that extra cost is primarily for that better mechanical shutter performance, that speed and reliability for stills.
That seems to be the justification, yes. The R50, on the other hand, is typically positioned as the slightly more budget-friendly option of the two, which makes its strong video features incredibly attractive for the price.
Okay, so let's define the ideal user for each, based on everything we've discussed. Who is the R10 for?
The R10 is really for the photography enthusiast first. Maybe someone stepping up from a smartphone or a basic DSLR. Their priority is capturing great still photos, especially if those photos involve action.
Sports, wildlife, pets, kids.
Exactly. That reliable 15 fps mechanical burst is golden for that. It's a camera that will handle those traditional photography challenges really well and gives you room to grow your skills in those areas. It's about nailing that single decisive moment.
Crystal clear. And the R50?
The R50 profile is just as clear, but different. This is the camera built for the video-first content creator, the vlogger, the YouTuber, the Instagram Reels or TikTok maker, the aspiring influencer.
Anyone whose primary output is video.
Yes. They need that superior, uncropped, oversampled 4K. They want the option for high-quality 120 fps slow motion. That fully articulating vari-angle screen is probably essential for them. And specialized features like the close-up demo mode and the 100% AF coverage are major bonuses.
And it's potentially a bit more beginner-friendly, too. You mentioned an A+ assist mode.
Yeah, the user guides mention features like A+ Assist, which is sort of an enhanced automatic mode designed to make things even simpler for total newcomers. So it has a slightly gentler learning curve, perhaps.
So the final verdict really comes down to self-assessment, doesn't it? You can't really pick the wrong one based on image quality alone.
Absolutely not. They're both really capable cameras using that great APS-C sensor and the RF mount, which opens up a fantastic range of lenses eventually. RFS, full-frame RF, even older EF and EFS lenses with an adapter. The choice is purely about your main focus.
What are you mostly going to do with it?
That's the question.
So the trade-off, boiled right down. Reliable speed for action stills with the R10.
Versus superior video quality, features, and usability designed for content creation with the R50.
Okay. That brings us nicely to our final provocative thought for you, the listener.
We've established, right, that technically, image for image, the R10 and R50 are pretty much equals. One trades mechanical speed for video prowess and vice versa.
So the critical choice isn't really about the tech specs in a vacuum. It's about your intention. What do you actually want to do with this camera? What kind of story are you trying to tell?
Yeah, you need to ask yourself, am I primarily trying to build a portfolio of stunning still images, freezing moments in time, especially fast ones? Or am I trying to create an ongoing narrative, a video series, content that requires flexibility, good audio potential, maybe slow motion, and often involves me being in front of the camera?
Are you capturing decisive moments, or are you composing an ongoing story?
That difference in intention, that's where your answer lies. Choose based on that, and you'll likely end up with the perfect tool for your specific job.
Choose wisely. Thanks for diving deep with us today.